This is video number 28 of my set of 31 videos where I'm covering the topic of how to use a glucose meter as your fuel gauge. Even though this is video number 28 in my set of 31, this day is day 27 in the 30-day Data-Driven Fasting Challenge that I've been participating in and that I'm doing these videos for. And the question and topic of today is Marty puts forth the question of what have you learned through these past number of days. So I will share with you what other people have commented. As a matter of fact, I looked on the in the Data-Driven Fasting group to see what people answered. Marty has this question: what are you learning about what and how much to eat using your glucose as a guide? One lady answered, lower carbs plus higher protein equals better satiety. Lower blood glucose and fat, it means better satiety, lower blood glucose, and faster weight loss. But, she says, I enjoy carbs, especially fruit and sourdough toast, and I'm not giving them up. So it's a game to choose carbs wisely, to limit portions and work them into healthy meals. Another person said, this is not my first DDF rodeo, and I have learned something new each round. I am more in tune with true hunger signals, and I've learned what foods give me greatest satiety and satisfaction. Occasionally, I check waking glucose, but I always eat breakfast regardless of blood sugar unless I'm not hungry. Sometimes breakfast is at 8, sometimes it's noon. I use my meter to guide my second or some days my third meal. I find as long as I am prioritizing hitting my protein target that I don't usually go over the other macros. I don't worry about carbs from non-starchy vegetables, but I am mindful of starchy carbs. One person says, I've learned to keep carbs low and prioritize protein. It's like you're in my head, Marty. One person says, protein-based meals work best for me. I've learned how much hormone cycles impact what weight loss on the scales looks like, and I've learned that intermittent fasting is the right choice for me. Okay, and then there's actually an article that Marty compiled. That the title is Data-Driven Fasting Challenge, What Did We Learn? And so that article has other people's comments. I will link that article in the description box of this video. I have learned that once I reach my personal hunger trigger, I can know that when I'm ready to eat, I can go ahead and eat. Even if I'm not able to eat when I reach my personal hunger trigger, once I've reached that trigger, I still can kind of look back to that number, and when I get ready to eat, I can go ahead and eat. For example, if I'm out and about doing something and I check my glucose because I'm hungry and I see that I'm at my personal hunger trigger, which is 79, then when I get home, if my glucose has gone back up again, I know that means my body has converted some stored glycogen back into blood sugar, and it's circulating to keep me going, and I don't have to wait to get back down to that hunger trigger number again. I can eat later when I get home because earlier I had reached my trigger. So that was a revelation to me probably last year, and I don't know why it took me so long to get that through my head, because I've been using a glucose meter as my fuel gauge for 4+ years. And I used to think, oh, well, my glucose went back up, so I need to wait again until it comes back down. No, I didn't have to do that. So that was very valuable aha moment for me. And as I'm finishing up these last few days of the 30-day Data-Driven Fasting Challenge, I'm also participating in a free week of TrimHealthyMama, being in a TrimHealthyMama group coaching experience with KJ York. She offered that on, I caught wind of that she was offering it on Facebook, and I signed up to participate. And it's been a great experience to communicate with these women that are in the group doing the challenge together. A menu is provided. So I've learned through being in this challenge with them that it makes for much cleaner blood glucose numbers when I stick more closely to separating my fuels, either eating on the carb end of the spectrum or the fat end of the spectrum, not abusing either one, but always having that protein anchor solidly to rest on. And I'm having some really nice glucose numbers, and I'm feeling good and enjoying being a little more walking the straight line of TrimHealthyMama. But I also know that I don't have to do that. I've learned that I can eat whatever I want and watch what it does to my glucose numbers, and it takes a while before things start to get unattractive in those glucose numbers. They start to go up, but I also know how to turn it back around again. So it's just interesting after 4.5, whatever, 4+. It'll be my 5th year anniversary in December of this year. So I'm really grateful that I found Data-Driven Fasting. I found Marty's blog. It wasn't Data-Driven Fasting at the time. I found his blog post, How to Use a Glucose Meter as Your Fuel Gauge. And I took it to heart, and I practiced it along with my TrimHealthyMama life. And then when I got things where I wanted to be with my weight, and I saw that I could manage my weight with my glucose meter, I started taking lots of liberties and eating junk food. And that's way back then is when I learned that once your glucose numbers are healthy, they stay healthy for a little bit of time. They're a little slow to catch up to the bad behavior, but they do catch up. And unless you're a type 1 diabetic whose pancreas does not produce the insulin that you need, this diabetes thing is very much within our control. And I think it's a shame that people aren't taught that, and they think that it's happening to them, not that they're contributing to what's happening. And that's, I hope that by my sharing, someone will learn that they can be in charge and they don't have to be a victim. That will be the end of today's video. I probably should have started it earlier in the day, and then maybe I would have had more to share. But it's the end of the day, and so I'm going to end the video. Thank you for watching.